Good evening and welcome to our X39 testimonial with review. I am Dr. John Harmon and we are recording live from Boise, Idaho for the first time. Could I have a Here we are. So it's great to be back. I'm Dr. Harmon. I'm here with my co-host Peter No. We've had a few technical glitches, but we're kind of working through them right now. To those of you who are here for the very first time, kind of checking it out, we know you've been invited by a friend, a co-worker, maybe a family member. And we just want you to know that they really cared enough about you that they actually invited you because they want you to be the best you can be. They want your health to be the best, and they want you to look and feel younger as you get older. So some of you may have been invited because the person thought maybe you wanted a little bit more abundance. So we invite you to take a look at this. In our 30 minutes together, you're going to hear two remarkable testimonials from several different people around the country who've actually been using the X39 with great results. We're going to go over an overview, how the patch works, do a little bit of science. We're not going to have too much time to geek out, but that would be fun for me. And then we'll show you how you can either purchase some of the product or even decide to join with us in our global sharing of this remarkable technology, the X39. David Schmidt, who is our inventor, founder and CEO, is a visionary who saw the future of regenerative medicine a long time ago. And he tells of how he felt called to discover how to innately capture the science of stem cells using his signature delivery system of light therapy. So with heart, dedication, and scientific research and patents, in 2019, the only stem cell activation patch, the X39, was launched, and that has brought us here together tonight. And that patch is shifting the health of people globally. We're in about 80 countries. Our goal is to bring this technology into 1 billion homes, and we're getting pretty close to that. So before we get started, I want to read a little obligatory disclaimer, our Lifewave disclaimer. The statements we make tonight on Lifewave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. Our content tonight is for information and educational purposes only. Please consult your physician or appropriate healthcare provider with respect to your own symptoms or medical issues. Okay, so I want to, Peter, can you give me co-host?
I did. Your co-host.
I want to do a little screen share, and I have a picture of David right here. For those of you who don't know him, once you get to know David, you'll know what a genuine person he is. He has over 130 patents. His grandfather has about 100 patents as well. He's the scientist and inventor of these patches. He's a two-time recipient of Advanced Technology Award, International Hall of Fame. So that's a little bit about David. So tonight, we're going to be talking about this breakthrough technology, the X39 photobiomodulation patch. I want to say just a couple of things about the company, and then we're going to turn the bit of the time over to Peter No. So if you look at this slide, you see that this is not a startup company. This is a very well-seasoned company, global company, and the revenue of sales for this company went from 20 million to 280 million in the last 2 years. Talk about being on the right side of that curve. And I want to tell you, this was not even supposed to be in this delivery system to the public. It wasn't originally. We have the opportunity to participate in one of the greatest shifts in ways to take care of your body and help your body be the best it can be in the history. This isn't a vitamin. It's not a transdermal patch. Nothing goes from the patch into your body. I'll get into that a little bit more. But we have an opportunity with the growth of this company to really affect the health of the world globally. All right, so before we get into this, well, I'll tell you a little bit about how the patch works before we do the testimonials. I mentioned nothing goes from the patch into the body. This is really important. They aren't stem cell patches. We never call them stem cell patches because there aren't stem cells in them, and that would imply that there are stem cells in those patches. So I'll be showing you in just a few minutes the details very simply with an analogy of how they work. But just briefly, the patch is powered by energy you are already making. And I'll let you think about that for a few minutes until I come back. The substance inside of there is something that David invented. He invented a crystal structure that has never been made. It's not made in nature, but he figured out how to make these new nanocrystals to actually use some of the energy we're already making and get it back in the body. I interviewed him a couple of years ago and I said, hey, David, when everybody was out playing football and talking about girls, I'll bet you were home talking about, hey, I bet I can make this crystal thing to do this thing. And he started cracking up. He has a good sense of humor. So we'll talk more about how this reactivates your own stem cells in just a moment. But Peter, I'm going to throw it over to you for the 2 testimonials. We can't hear you, Peter. Peter, you're muted.
Okay, thank you, John, because I couldn't unmute myself. Woo. Okay, we love technology. So thank you, everyone. My name is Peter, and thank you for sharing that technology, Dr. Harmon, as now we're going to interview some testimonials on people, actual people that actually benefited from this. So Denise, can you unmute yourself?
Hi.
Hi, Denise. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I really am.
Okay, well, it's nice.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for sharing your testimonial with us tonight. Can we just find out from you how long you've been on the patches, who introduced to you on the patches, and what experience have you experienced for yourself with this technology?
I've been on the patches since the beginning of February. I was introduced to them by Melissa Pellegrini. And well, I adore Melissa.
We love Melissa.
You know, she could have recommended almost anything to me, but I'm really glad she recommended this because she's a darling. But anyway, yes, I've been on them since the beginning of February. I actually started them at the end of having something that maybe might have been COVID. It was terrible, whatever it was. I took a little home test and it was negative, but I was very, very sick. It aided me in getting my strength back. And I just started wearing them and I had no idea what they were exactly. I just had a faith that I should try this. And I had a faith that they were going to do something interesting for me. I've done a lot of natural things. I've been like a natural person pursuing all this stuff since the 1970s. You name it, I've tried it. The vitamins, the herbs, the homeopathy, and it's all wonderful. It's all wonderful. It's all good stuff to have in a toolkit. I'm glad I learned about it, but this has been an accelerated game changer like I could not have ever even imagined. And I'm going to say something that may sound a little bit out of the box, because I know usually it takes a person a while of trying something, but within the first few days of being on these patches, my first clue that they were really working was when I was getting dressed and I dropped one of these earrings on the floor. And these earrings were earrings my dad gave to my mom, and then my mom gave to me. And it went way under my vanity in my bathroom. And I dropped to my knees. I had to get that right away and not let it slip out of my possession. And I got it and I stood back up and I said, oh my gosh, I just went down on my knees and I didn't wince in horrible pain. And I was able to get down on the floor and stand back up without a lot of shenanigans.
Wow. Everybody, I know sometimes it's those little things, right, Denise, that you don't pay attention to. But if something like that is called moving the ticker, right? If something moves your ticker and you've experienced that for so long, and all of a sudden you just got up and the only thing you've changed is possibly the patches, right, Denise?
That's it. I mean, I've been on the same kind of supplement routine for a long time. And it was
I didn't lose you.
Oh, what? No, you're there. I'm here. Okay.
So
no, I've been on the same supplement routine. I hadn't started any new supplements. So, life was okay. I was getting along. I was starting to think of myself as old though. And, lightly, mildly old. I turned 69 in April, and I am feeling better than I can ever remember. I was I just had a hard time from my 30s on. I've had a lot of inflammation things and autoimmune things. And I had a bilateral hip replacement in 2008. So, I was on a trajectory of inflammation.
got it.
And so this has I don't wake up anymore feeling sluggish. I don't wake up feeling in pain. I don't have to wait until I take some supplements and wait for them to get into my system to feel like I can move around better. I mean, I just go. I've been doing gardening that in the past, all I could do was, oh my gosh, it'll make me cry, was stand there and supervise my daughter.
Wow.
And say, yeah, we need to do this and move this here and dig. I can do it. I can weed, I can dig. That's super important to me. I love gardening. I love growing vegetables. I love being in the dirt. And now I'm not removed from that anymore. I'm right down in it. And it's not only a total game changer for me, just think of what it means to my daughter who doesn't have to, come and help me every time something needs to be done now.
I wonder how many people here tonight, especially all the new guests, can just relate with Denise. Again, Denise, I think all your testimonials, and this is in the last February, March, April, May. So literally only about 4 months or less, you're regenerating and you're repairing at this level. Wow. Denise.
There's one other thing that was super important, that's super important to me in all of this. Of course, my skin looks better, and I'm thrilled about that. I'm kind of a skin geek, and I've really tried really hard to at least keep my skin looking younger. But the thing that really got me, I have the bilateral hip replacement, and it's really not any problem. And it was the best thing I could do at the time that I did it. But I always felt a funny little separation between my upper body and my lower body. So my lower body sometimes would give out before my upper body wanted to. And I would feel like I was kind of like dragging it along. And it felt like they were separate units. And I don't anymore. I feel all one from my head to my toes. And I move like I did when I was younger. When I was younger, I danced, I did gymnastics. I was very active, and I feel that continuity of body again. I couldn't go and do any gymnastics, but I feel that continuity of my body again.
Wow, that's the first time I heard this testimonial, Denise, but I think everybody here can resonate. Like when your body's not aligned, when you're not balanced, how can this technology just balance out your health for you to regenerate and repair yourself? Denise, thank you so much for sharing
You're
tonight.
very welcome.
We're definitely going to come back for you in the next 90 days or so, and we want to hear an update from you. So
Thank you.
thank you so much. All right, everybody. Well, we definitely have another incredible testimonial. Dr. Clinchy, I think, has been with us for a little while, but we have an amazing update, but also he's going to share with our new guest from beginning to end. How you are introduced, Dr. Clinchy?
Got it. Okay, Peter.
What has your experience been so far?
In February of 2022, my good friend and fellow veteran, Frank Kayer, introduced me to Lifewave. I didn't know much about stem cell regeneration at the time. I know a hell of a lot more now. And so I bought the gold pack just to see what would happen. I have been a first responder of one kind or another for over 60 years. As a result, I've got chronic L4, L5 problems. I know John's probably familiar with that kind of problem for public safety officers and firefighters. I've done it all. So I decided to try the X39 patch to see if it would help with my back. And 5 or 6 weeks after I started on the X39, we had a torrential downpour here. 2 chairs out in my lanai that were not covered were soaked and very heavy. And the rain stopped, and I said, okay, I got to get them out in the sun and dry them out. So I picked the chairs up, walked around the pool, put them down in the sunshine, picked the second chair up, did the same thing, walked back into the house and said, I won't say the exact words that came out of my mouth, but my back didn't hurt. So that was the first indication that something was going on that was very positive. In October of 2022, I was deployed to Fort Myers with the Emerald Coast Crisis Stress Team by the state of Florida. We do critical incident stress management and critical incident stress debriefing for first responders. So I'm out on Sanibel Island with 3 firefighters. One of them looks at me and he says, how old are you anyway? And inside I was sort of chuckling. Remember, I was 8 months in, and they say the magic number is 1 month for every 10 years you've been old. So I said, how old do you think I am? And he said, oh, late 50s. I took out my driver's license and I held it up in front of him. I said, read the date of birth on here. I'm going to be 80 in 6 months. And the guy said, no, blank. And I said, no, for real. So that's probably the second remarkable thing. And then for 8 or 9 years, I don't know if you all can see this, but this is a hearing aid from Hearing Direct out of the UK. For 8 or 9 years, I've been wearing hearing aids. When I first got them, I realized I had a hearing problem. And when I got these in and first put them in 8 or 9 years ago, I walked outside the office when I didn't have my office at home. And I listened and I went back in, and the gal that I was working with at the time, I said to her, "My God, there are birds out in the trees out here." And she said, "Yeah, there are." So anyway, about 10 days ago on a lark, I decided, okay, I'm going to take the damn hearing aids out and see what happens. I went back out and I could hear all the birds in the backyard. The TV is now set around 4 or 5 volume level, so the neighbors don't know what I'm listening to. So it's been pretty remarkable stuff. And no one I meet believes I'm 80. They just do not believe it, because I'm still active with the Federal Disaster Medical Team, and I'm still active with that crisis stress team. And I move a little slower than I used to, but other than that, I'm in pretty damn good shape. That's it,
Wow.
Peter.
Well, I don't know. Your backache is gone. You're looking like a 50-year-old. You're here. You can hear like a 20-year-old. You might be able to dance like a 40-year-old. I don't know, Dr. Clinchy. I think you're regenerating and repairing pretty
Yep.
well these days.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you, Peter.
And
It's-
all this, and we're saying it's been about a year and a few months now since you've been on
It's
this technology.
15 months.
15 months. So
Yeah.
everyone, can you see the difference down from Denise to Dr. Clinchy? It doesn't matter what age group you're in. We all have cells. And as you continue to use this, I can't believe the results that we're hearing every
Now,
day.
Peter, I have to admit, I would
Yes.
not take a deluge gun and walk it up the top of an 85-foot aerial ladder anymore. I think that's a little bit beyond me. But that's the kind of crap I did as a youngster, as a
I mean,
firefighter.
all that stress, all that situations you've been in your
Yep.
previous life, I mean, it caught up to you, but for you to recover this way by just using a simple technology as a patch.
Peter,
it's
it's not my previous life. I'm still doing it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, yeah. Oh, you all right. Yeah.
Okay, I'll shut up now.
Well, everybody, I think, Dr. Clinchy, we all resonate with you. We're so happy to see you in smiling faces and to be still so active. That means you are definitely our role model for these patches. So I can't wait to come back to you probably in the next 3 to 6 months and see where you're at. Maybe all your hair might turn black like mine soon. So, Dr. Harmon,
Yes, sir.
I think all our guests must be wondering again, can you do a quick rundown exactly what just happened to our 2 testimonials tonight? And then
Okay,
I'll
I
come
think
back and share.
It's interesting. Denise is 69. I'm 69. And I feel better than I did 20 years ago. So the patches, and I've been using it for about 3 years. But I want to take a few minutes. And I mentioned that David invented a new type of crystal structure. Every crystal, whether it's sodium chloride, quartz, they all have a specific structure, and it's called a crystal lattice structure. And I think this is a really good way to explain how these patches work. So I'm going to do a little screen share here. And let's see if it'll let me advance. Yeah. Okay. So I want you to imagine you walk into a jewelry store and you walk up to the cabinet where all the diamonds are. There's always a bright light shining down on the diamonds because they want them to sparkle and look really nice. You go over there and you're looking at these clear diamonds and you see all of these colors. What the heck is going on with all of these colors? Well, the diamond facets reflect and refract out. They separate the different wavelengths that then are interpreted by our brain as colors. You are the bright white light. The patches are the diamonds. The patches are selecting different wavelengths of what you're already making, and it reflects it back into your body, and it acts as a light switch to turn on a little factory inside of us that starts to kind of get less potent and less effective as we age. And it makes a peptide called the GHK copper peptide. If you haven't done so, you need to go to the doctor's website who actually discovered this peptide. It's called reverseagingwithghk.com. Reverseagingwithghk.com. If somebody could put that in the chat, that would be great. There are 6 categories of what does this GHK copper peptide do? It's one of our emergency response, like the our first responder who just talked. One of our first emergency response molecules when we get injured, or it's an emergency, there's a wound and needs to be rapidly healed. We need to make more stem cells. That's the one we talk about because it does signal your body, reverses the age of the stem cells you already have, and then signals your body to make more so you can fix it really quickly. So go to that website. Back in 2009, Japanese researchers figured something out, and that is that we glow. It's that David Schmidt captured, figured out what the frequencies were, figured out what do I need to put in this patch, and then get that back into the body. So for those of you who don't know what stem cells are, they are cells, every cell in your body used to be a stem cell. So your body makes them, and then they can become whatever cell is needed the most. They can be a liver cell, a skin cell, a bone cell. And so you start to win the battle between cell death and I'm too old, I don't have enough stem cells, so your body's gonna not kill the sick and dying ones off anymore because I can't replace them fast enough. And so they get sicker and sicker, and then tissues die and organs die, and then we die. We kill off, our body kills off 50 to 70 billion cells every single day. Think of that, you lost 70 billion cells, but we replace them. They were sick and dying. If you don't have enough stem cells, you start to lose that battle. So this is a really important topic. The fewer you have, the faster you age. Hundreds of millions of people are experiencing symptoms of aging. And the closer I get to 70, the more I start to, I don't know if I'm sure everybody using the X39 looks at other people like at your high school reunion. Oh my gosh, he's the same age I am. But as you start to reverse aging, like David Schmidt explains it, then you feel your best and you look your best. Just a couple of things. At age 30, only half of your stem cells are active. At 60, you lose at least 90% of them. A couple of other things. These are kind of the bullet points. I want you to, this is your take-home message. With the X39, rapid pain relief, reduced inflammation, supports wound healing. Remember, it's an emergency response molecule. Your body sends out a message, holy cow, something happened. All hands on deck, fix whatever it is. Supports wound healing, energy and vitality, mental clarity. I have one slide about that. Enhances sports performance, faster recovery from exercise, and improved skin appearance. This is how we wear them. See this little patch? That's how big it is compared to that person's hand. You don't have to wear them on these points. These are just the points that where the company did the research. Truly, you can put them anywhere on the body. A couple of just quick things about wound healing, hair regrowth, hair turning back to brown. My hair used to be a lot more gray. I still have some, but I don't care. So right away, when you put the patch on, your body starts to repair the oxidized endings of genes that aren't working anymore. And this is why I think some people have such a huge response right away, is because a gene that couldn't work is now, boom, is now doing what it's supposed to do. We call it coding to make something or do something. Where it says brain becomes balanced, I would call that the brain becomes more balanced. Everybody's a little bit different, and I'm going to show you a slide about that. Collagen repair, heart. This is my testimonial. Maybe sometime we'll talk about it. I no longer have a right bundle branch block in my heart. I was telling my two granddaughters I took to lunch for graduation today about that, and they looked at me like, wow, grandpa's going to be all around a lot longer. So that was really meaningful. This is actually my wheelhouse. I have a place called Clearmind, Idaho. This is an EEG of the brain of a 77-year-old woman. Over on the left, all of this red indicates there's way too much activity. And when that happens, you can't pay attention worth a, and you have squirrel moments and you can't focus. You have, we call it 5 o'clock traffic on Eagle Road here in Idaho, and those in the audience know what that means. But on the freeway, everything's all jammed up. Look what happens over 6 weeks. This blue, you have just almost no red. This is more orange right here. No red on the far right, which is overactive brain. There's too much activity. There's a traffic jam in the brain. So that's what happens in the brain. Go to this website for more information, startx39now.com. There's some videos on there. There's some written content. You can really kind of dive in deep if you want. There's some videos from doctors and other people. So go to that website. Patented. Folks, if you decide to jump on this journey of sharing globally, this is a patented product. There's nothing like it in existence that David has invented. And so I would really encourage you to say yes to the patch, yes to wearing it. If you can increase the stem cells in your body, there's not much in your body that can't get functioning better. So say yes to that. If this resonates with you and you have the heart of someone who just wants to help everybody be the best they can be, then I would say yes and join us on this journey, this global journey, and our goal of getting this into 1 billion homes. I imagine it's pretty soon, maybe even our convention in October. David Schmidt's going to say, oh, we did 1 billion, let's shoot for 2. That's probably going to happen really quick. So have you been patched yet? Get your patch on, get your game on. And my last slide, this is me. I want to be younger when I get older. So Peter, I'm going to shoot it back to you to wrap things up.
Dr. Harmon, it's always a pleasure to be presenting with you. And I think all 300 of our viewers today got a little special.
No, 305, I saw it.
305 got a little special treat from you tonight. It's so clear, so simple to understand. Just a little bit to leave with all our viewers. Lifewave is the only company in the world that can prove and say that we will turn on and activate your own stem cells with this light technology. We are growing exponentially. All we want you to do is just talk to the person that invited you on this Zoom call tonight. Just let that person know, yes, I love to be a customer, or yes, I love to be a global brand partner and share this technology around the world. We do this 5 nights a week. Tomorrow we have our beautiful Stacy, Dr. Stacy and Marcy, and more testimonials for you. If you are a brand partner and love to share your testimonial, please. And we would love to hear from you really soon. So Denise, thank you so much for sharing. Dr. Clinchy, thank you for giving us your update. You can hear us now, and jumping jacks, we're good. Dr. Harmon, thank you for coming on this Wednesday. And everyone, we will get Dr. Harmon back at least a couple of times every month now. So you can invite your doctor's guests, invite your friends out, and get this special treat of information. And everybody, we love you. We love our community. We will see you tomorrow.
Let's hear Go Boise!
Bye, everybody.
Great job.
Great call. Thank you, Peter.
Great call. Bye, everyone.
Great call.
Bye, John Boy.
Thank
Great
you.
call tonight.
Thank you.
Great call. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love it.
Bye, everyone.
Love you, Peter. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Here from Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Thanks, Peter.
Wonderful.
Dr. Harmon, can you close this? Because my button won't close this, so.
Thank you, Dr. Harmon.
We don't
Bye,
want you to
everyone.
close,
Bye,
Peter.
Michael.
Stay with us. Stay with us.
Take
You're
care.
I'm
hot.
gonna stay as long as I can, but we
You're
gotta,
stuck with us now.
we gotta stop this recording some way somehow, but Dr. Harmon, can you close this out?
He already left.
Oh, he already left.
Wow.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Hi, Peter.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Dr. John. Hi, Kathy.
Thank you.
Hope everybody is well. This is wonderful. I guess we're all stuck here now. Now we can all talk.
had four
How
months
about
today.
that?
That'd be fun.
Who
Today,
met
and I'm
David
gardening
Schmidt
and lifting
here?
weights too.
Hey,
This will be
guys.
interesting.
Oh. Nyla is now the host.
Hello from Williamsburg, Virginia.
Hey, from New Jersey.
Hey, from Georgia.
Florida.
Hey, from Phoenix.
Hey,
Florida.
From Massachusetts.
Hey, from California.
Brooksville, the land of the free Florida.